Hey everybody, HB Gibson here, and we are live. Welcome to the X XONE live broadcast. I'm broadcasting on Facebook. I'm broadcasting on YouTube right here, and I'm also broadcasting on Instagram. I'm actually broadcasting Instagram on my personal Instagram, not the X XONE Instagram. So to my Instagram family, how are you? Hopefully everything is all right. What's going on, Kendra Gray? Once again, congratulations on your apartment. I send you my best. I really hope that you and Katani are doing well. I hope and pray that the Future Shock is running very well. Great vibes. How are you? Thank you for joining me. I don't. You know what? Sometimes when I do live on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, I'm also live on Instagram because when you see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone and I'm live all over the place. And I just want to make sure that I'm giving everybody my equal attention. Oh, you're welcome, brother. No problem. So what is the topic of the day? If you're watching me on YouTube, if you're watching me on Facebook, on the X XONE Facebook page, if you're not on the X XONE Facebook page, please hit follow because I'm going to start doing more live stuff over there. All right. And I'm going to get to the subject in a minute. I'm going to tell you something. Once again, I had a blast over at Dragon Con. I learned a lot of lessons about how to enjoy Dragon Con, and you definitely have to have a hotel room and make sure that you go for more than just one day. All right. So with that being said, that's my advice on how to enjoy Dragon Con, everybody on Instagram, everybody on Facebook and on YouTube. That's my advice. So yes, my friend here, Sean Franklin. Yes, on live on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, Tomb Raider reboot. From what I understand, and I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that in just a second. We're talking about the subjects for today. We're talking about Tomb Raider. The new Tomb Raider is going to get basically a sequel in 2021. We're also going to be talking about what's your favorite video game movie, if you have a favorite movie based on a video game. And we all know, the whole thing about video game movies are like, oh, they're terrible, they're awful. And yeah, a lot of them were not that enjoyable, but some of them might be, for some of you, guilty pleasures. And I want you to just come out and just tell me what movie you would you like. I'm quite sure that there's a video game movie that you might find yourself watching sometimes if it just happens to come on cable or something like that. So hey, Dangerous. Oh, Dangerous Dan, what's going on, man? How are you, sir? How are you, man? Thank you for joining. Sean, guess what? We're gonna get to all the next level stuff. I believe Devil May Cry is going to be turned into an anime series on Netflix. That's the last I heard. But we're gonna get to that. We're definitely gonna get to that. So we're gonna talk about, first and foremost, we're gonna stay on topic, the new Tomb Raider movie. All right. So we're gonna go there. I'm going online right now, and on Google. According to the HeraldPublicist.com, is that the Tomb Raider sequel has been confirmed, with actress Alicia Vikander will return as Lara Croft in the sequel to the 2018 action adventure, and it's going to be directed. This is going to be directed this time by director Ben Wheatley, which will be taken up from the earlier director, Mr. Roar Utog. Oh man, some of these last names. Roar Utog. He directed the last one. Now let me tell you something how I felt about that Tomb Raider. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. It was like, and if you saw, I did a review on it. If you go back to my, I think it was either like season 2 or season 3 of the X XONE, where I actually did a review on Tomb Raider, and I expressed about how much I liked it. And that I thought that, for a movie based on a video game, I think it really it was a victory to me. It had the components from the Lara Croft video games, but it didn't shove it. It wasn't forced. The action wasn't forced. I mean, she did the Lara Croft things that you would expect from the video game in the movie, but it wasn't forced, and it was done on a more natural, necessary level as to, you know, like what scenes she had to do. Because remember, like, you know, if anybody's ever played any of the Tomb Raider games, even like all the way back to the 90s, you know, when she would, like, you know, do the whole monkey bar thing, you know, to get to one place, to get from one place to another. You saw that in the Tomb Raider movie, spoiler alert, but when she would do it, it was done naturally, and it was necessary for the scene that was in it, and it wasn't rushed. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Keith, what's going on, man? Keith Andrews, Keith Andrew Network, what's happening? I'm getting a lot of hearts. I'm getting a lot of love. Thank you so much. Yeah, so Tomb Raider, I think, was definitely an improvement on video game movies. I remember reviewing Rampage. If anybody remembers my review for Rampage, I really enjoyed Rampage a lot. I mean, listen, you can't go wrong with The Rock. And I did my little Dwayne The Rock Johnson wrestler impression at the beginning of that episode. If anybody's ever seen it, please check it out. Go look in the playlist that says Retro Gaming with HB Gibson, and look up Rampage, where not only did I review the Rampage video games and talk about the history of the Rampage video games, I talked about the movie as well. So it was like a double episode. That was one of my favorite episodes to do. So I did my impression of The Rock in there. So I love doing that episode. That was such a fun episode. I watch it from time to time. Yeah, I know, huge ego watching your own episodes, but it was a fun episode. But yeah, so video game movies, there were a lot of them that weren't that great. I know, but there are some that I do find myself watching. Of course, I really enjoyed the original Mortal Kombat. I remember going to see the original Mortal Kombat, and the music and the fight scenes and everything, and it was just so cool because you started to, you know, if you were like a true TV watcher and martial arts fan, you would know with Mortal Kombat, there were some Easter eggs as far as like actors. I believe the martial artist Chris Casamassa was in the film, and he portrayed Scorpion. And I believe Chris Casamassa was also the model in the video game of the original Mortal Kombat. Look that up. Look that up. All right. Yes, I did like Rampage. I did like Rampage. I did like Rampage. All right. I'm trying to stay on the subject, because like when I look down, I I lose it. Okay, so hold on. What the heck? It will look. Oh man, it looks like my live left on Facebook. That's crazy, because I was doing it. It was doing well. What's going on here, man? All right, so let's try this again. They lost me on Facebook. Hold on a second. So we're gonna do new Tomb Raider movie in 2021. Your favorite video game movie and the state of cosplay. Okay, so we're gonna try again. We're gonna go live. Try again. We're gonna try again on Facebook. But getting back to your favorite video game movies. yes, I did enjoy Rampage. I loved Rampage. Um, I lost my train of thought, y'all, because like I really got distracted. I gotta stop being so daggone distracted. Okay, so we were talking about video games. We were talking about hold on a sec. We were talking about video games based stuff. Have I ever met The Rock? Sean Franklin, have I ever met The Rock? No, I never met The Rock at all. I never met him. I saw him in person one time. I went to see SmackDown live many years ago. Many years ago when SmackDown was on television and The Rock was still on it. But no, I never really met him. You know, I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great actor. He seems like a very personal person, and I've watched a lot of his inspirational videos as I would work out as I was at the gym. But let me get back on topic about my favorite video game movies. There were some good ones, there were some bad ones, but it would appear that some of the movies that were video game based, not necessarily based on a video game per se, but featured video games in it, were films like The Last Starfighter. I would love to see a brand new Last Starfighter movie. I had an idea for a Last Starfighter movie like forever. You know, and please steal it from me. I don't care. I was thinking about, you know, with the current state of video games today, and how people are very vocal about what video game is fun and what is not. I would say I would love to have, who's the actor that, David Harbour. I would totally have David Harbour in it. I'm gonna tell you why. I would have the story be about an older guy who plays video games. He has a wife, and the wife gets fed up with him playing video games all the time. And he has like this dream of being in a video game tournament. And his favorite game to play is The Last Starfighter. Okay. Now, this is a more advanced version of the Last Starfighter. Let's say it's a reboot. Let's say that that the Star League released a new rebooted version of The Last Starfighter. And Alex Rogan is like disappeared. He's gone. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the new Last Starfighter video game is being panned by critics. People hate the game. They think it's whack. They think it's the worst space shooter ever. But the character that David Harbour plays, he loves it, and he loves playing it, and he becomes very good, and he beats everybody. So a descendant of Centauri comes back and you know, picks him up and tells him to say, hey, listen, I have an opportunity for you. You can be a starfighter. And of course he's like, are you kidding me? I mean, this is crazy. Listen, my wife just left me and everything. And he'll say things like, you know what? Your wife might have left you, but there's an opportunity. He said, he'll say something crazy. He'll say, don't you know that there are female species out there in the galaxy that will make you not look even once or twice at any human woman? You know, he really amps him up and everything to be you know, to be a starfighter, and he winds up being a starfighter. And the main mission is to find Alex Rogan. But there's a reason why Alex Rogan disappeared, because it turns out that the Star League is not what they are cracked up to be. That they're actually the leadership kind of twisted, and they have become worse than Zurg and the Codon Armada. So the character David Harbour has to make a choice between like so-called the promise of saving the galaxy and being a hero with this new Star League, which is under an evil control, or truly save the galaxy and go against the other starfighters, which are being trained to actually conquer planets and conquer worlds. You know, I think that's a great idea. I think that's pretty dope. So, you know, that's my idea for The Last Starfighter. So it's a video game based movie, but it's not based on an existing video game. But of course, The Last Starfighter did become a video game eventually. All right. So who's that? Who that? Yeah, Maria Battle. What's going on? Hey, what's going on, man? My man, Daryl Taylor's in the house. So that's my idea for a new Last Starfighter movie. So please do let me know what your favorite movie based on a video game is. Please put it in the comments below. Please make a comment and everything. And then what I'll do is I'm going to go back and use that and put that on another show and say, hey, on X Zone Live, I talked about what was your favorite video game movie, and then Sean Franklin said his favorite is that such so and why, and Daryl Taylor, what's your favorite movie based on a video game, and tell me why. Daryl Taylor says, and he just said it, Mortal Kombat. So we'll do that. We will certainly do that. I will put your answers and your questions and your comments and everything on the next episode of whatever show that I decide to do. It might be X XONE Micro. It might be on Monthly Blaster. It might be in the all new HB Gibson show, which I've decided that I'm going to take more time on the HB Gibson show and I'll release it in 2020. And then what I want to do is I'm going to preempt all my other shows, live, Micro, Monthly Blaster, and the entire month is going to be nothing but the HB Gibson show, because I really want this to be fun. I want it to be funny, and I want it to be something something I can really be proud of. So let me see who's on Facebook. Anybody on Facebook? Anybody looking at me on Facebook? No. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No recuerdo si lo me. Is that right, friend? Okay, so yeah, tell me about your favorite movies based on video games. And yes, I really did enjoy Mortal Kombat. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. That's where I went off. If you watch Mortal Kombat, all right, and you've played the original Mortal Kombat video game, you'll know that actor Chris Casamassa played Scorpion in both the video game and also the movie. If you notice also, there was a martial artist by the name of Ho Sung Pak. Ho Sung Pak played Liu Kang in the first video game, in the original video game. All right. If you remember Mortal Kombat, all you youngins out there that don't remember Mortal Kombat, it was a video game that used live actors and different and animated their positioning of their moves and stuff like that, and they would animate them, and they used like live actors to play these characters. There was another video game that was like that. It was called Pit Fighter, which a lot of people hated. And believe it or not, Street Fighter the movie, it featured Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile and all the other characters from the movie, and they also photographed them and animated them just like Mortal Kombat. And I never played it, so don't ask. Yes, they did also have a television show called Mortal Kombat Conquest, but I'll get back to that in a minute. Follow me though. These are the actors that I'm talking about. I'm talking about Ho Sung Pak, who played Liu Kang, Chris Casamassa, who played Scorpion. I think he also played a Sub-Zero in the game, not in the movie, in the game. And also, there was an actor in the original Mortal Kombat named Hakeem the Machine Alston. I think you know where I'm going with this. It's amazing that these amazing martial artists, all have worked together, not only in the Mortal Kombat video game, but also in the movie. Even though Hakeem the Machine was not in the video game, he was featured in the movie. But they were all featured, Ho Sung Pak, Chris Casamassa, and Hakeem the Machine Olsen all appeared in this wonderful television series called WMAC Masters. I loved that show. I loved it. It was starting to take a turn, and it was canceled out on a cliffhanger. Crazy. They fast laned me. No. When I say fast lane, I mean like that was another one of my favorite shows, and it ended on a cliffhanger. Oh boy, hate that. But yeah, so it's interesting that these actors that were involved in the original Mortal Kombat were also featured in the movie Mortal Kombat, but yet they also had their own television show called WMAC Masters, which was like a combination of it's like if you took wrestling and added a dash of Mortal Kombat in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the story about the secret society was really, really fantastic. And there was even one episode featuring the last dragon himself, Timac. So I don't know what happened with that. I would have loved for Timac to have kept going. We all want to see a sequel to The Last Dragon, which will probably never happen. I don't know what happened. Sometimes things just go for a reason. We'll see. But anyway, moving right along. Yes, if you are watching this video now and it's not live, please let me know what your favorite video game based movie is. Okay, so because it's interesting. Tron featured video games in it, but it wasn't based on a video game. But then a wonderful arcade game was released after that, a beautiful looking machine, Tron, and also Discs of Tron, which was I love the environmental version where you could actually step in and the sound was like wonderful. Greetings, Master Control Program has chosen you to serve on the game grid. Speech synthesis was pretty interesting back in the 80s, y'all. Okay, so now to the next subject. And if my eyes are blinking, that's because my eyes are drying up. Let's see, what am I going to be talking about now? Let's see, what am I doing right now? Okay, I just got a message here. Who did I get a message from? All right, well, I'll get back to that message at another time. Oh, what is this? Oh, Patricia. Oh, this is Patricia Grimes. I think this is okay, I'm back. So now we're going to talk about another topic that I think is going to be very, very important, and that is the state of cosplay. Ladies and gentlemen, the state of cosplay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end the live from Facebook on the X XONE page, because there are people that are not following my X XONE page that are on my personal page that I think need to hear what I got to say. So if you could just excuse me for just a minute, I'm going to end it right here. So if you're watching this video and it's not live on X XONE, the Facebook page, all right, I will be back and we'll have more live videos here. I'm getting ready to go and switch to my personal page. If you want to go to my personal page, it is HB Gibson on Facebook. Okay, so until next time, to my people here on the X XONE Facebook page, I'll see you next time. Okay, so now I'm ending that. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the state of cosplay. We're going to be talking about the state of cosplay, y'all. So just give me a second so that way I can get this back up. I'm about to go live again. I'm going to call it the current state of cosplay. And we're going to do it live. We're going to do it live. We're going to do it live. All right. So we're going to go live. In 3, 2, 1 on Facebook. Hello, everyone. All right. I think this is probably gonna go maybe for about maybe like another 30 minutes. Probably. I wasn't planning on being on this long, but I'm on now. So if you're watching me here on Facebook on my personal page, and you followed me from the X Zone Facebook page, thank you for catching up. I really appreciate it. I am broadcasting live, not just on Facebook, but also on YouTube and also on Instagram as well. X Zone is all over the place. See that? See that? See that? No, over here. Yeah. See that? X Zone. X Zone is all over the place, y'all. X Zone is all over the place. Tobias, what's going on, man? All right, we're gonna wait a few minutes, but the people who have been watching me on Instagram, thank you for sticking with me. For the people that are watching me on YouTube, thank you so much for sticking with me. Please follow me. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called HB Gibson's The X Zone. And also follow me on The X Zone on Instagram. I'm on my personal Instagram account right now because this message is really going to be important to a lot of cosplay. It's going to be, hey, Lou, what's going on, man? I am well, sir. I am great. I couldn't be happier, man. Everything is just smooth sailing, bro. Just a quick side announcement. This amazing company that I work for is actually going to be filming a commercial tomorrow, and your boy is going to be in it. It's amazing. It's like the opportunities out here in Georgia is like insane, man. A gentleman wrote a song for the company, and the company loved it. They're very, very open to looking at in-house talent, and I even brought up an idea for them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make something and then send it to them, and if they like it, hopefully, I won't be putting too much work into something that doesn't work. But anyway, thank you, man. Thank you so much, Lou. Hey, Linda Lupo is in the house. Let's see if anybody followed me on YouTube. I'm trying to get more viewers, y'all. Trying to get more viewers on YouTube, because you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. The more subscribers that I get on YouTube, the closer I can actually get to actually being able to monetize the videos. All right, some videos I can't monetize because it uses other copywritten material, but listen, a little support, all right, doesn't hurt. And then after a while, I'll be able to make my own music. I can compose. I can compose music. I've been making music for years. I don't ask me to play in a band because I'll mess you up. But I know how to compose things. I know how to put things together. I know how to take those keyboards and put the bass line here and the drums here and the strings here and the pads here and the guitar here and everything. I know how to compose stuff. So I think I'm a pretty good composer. So I want to make my own stuff. I already have my own music for the show. Something that I made a long time ago. You've heard the theme on the X Zone, also the HB Gibson show teaser trailer. That's music that I wrote. I made that one. So support your boy, right? Okay, my YouTube, Lou, is HB Gibson's The X Zone. See that right there? That's the logo right there. It said, but you're gonna put HB Gibson's The X Zone, zone spelled with an X. You're gonna see that symbol right there, right there. Thank you so much for your support, Lou. I really appreciate it. So Dana, what's going on, Miss Holmes? So the state of cosplay. The state of cosplay. The state of cosplay. Maybe one would say, you know what, I really don't have any right to even talk about it. Why? Because I haven't been to a lot of conventions. But I've been to enough conventions and spoken to enough cosplayers to know that there's stuff going on that does not need to go on. I mean, every group and every community is going to have their toxicity. Oh, Lou, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. He's going to get all the security guys to follow me. I appreciate that. Thank you, man. That's love, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. As I was saying, with the state of cosplay, I mean, there's going to be toxic people in every community. There's going to be issues in every group. There's going to be people that's not going to get along, and you can't really do much about it because people are going to be people, But it saddens me that this thing that we all love so much, you know, the geek community. I mean, like, it was a time where, you know, if people found out that you were into comic books, they would bully the heck out of you. They would you know, just ridicule you, beat you up, whatever, you know. And then, thanks to the way the films have been, you know, the way they've been presented, from Superman to Blade to Batman to X-Men to the Avengers to all the wonderful films that we have now. Now that the geek community has become more mainstream, all of a sudden everybody is some kind of an expert, and they have never read a comic book in their lives. They never read not one comic book. I'm way behind. I haven't really picked up a comic book in a long time, but what I do, what I do is that I do go online and I do research to find out what the story arcs are in comparison to the way things were, because the comics get rebooted all the time, and the origin stories are retold and changed a little bit and tweaked a little bit to fit the times, you know. Yeah, I know a lot of people. There was some people that had problems with today's Spider-Man, but we're dealing with today. It's a today thing. We know that, you know, that Mary Jane or MJ is a Caucasian girl with red hair. We know that. We know that Flash Thompson was a blonde-haired jock bully. We know that. But we're living in different times. Dana's laughing. Well, let me stay on topic, man. That was funny though, right? Things are changing for the times. Just like it's been announced that Giancarlo Esposito is being looked at to portray a new iteration of Magneto. And even though the original Magneto story is so important, the original X-Men, you can't take anything from it. That opening scene, it told everybody, it told the world that comic book movies can be this deep and can be told this way, this seriously, and have a social message, you know? But we're in a different time now, and we have to update things. So what they're going to do with this particular Magneto is he's going to be a Tutsi survivor of the Rwandan genocide that happened, I believe, back in 1994, of like one of the most disgusting and horrifying human atrocities in human history. So let's just face it, we're going to get a black Magneto. God knows who Xavier is going to be, you know. They need to get Darwin right in the X-Men franchise. I know, man. I know. They really threw in the 101 kill the black man clause in Hollywood on that one. So in the movie on that one. Darwin did not need to die. He was not somebody that you killed. And the Darwin in the comic books would have whooped everybody's behind, I think. You know, it's Jesse Martinez, how are you? So yeah, so things have changed. And people always have this opinion, and they're experts and this, that, and the third, and they always have an opinion about something. And no, you can't really stop people's opinions. You can't really stop people, what they say and what they think. You can't. But you know what? You can get after them if they become inappropriate. When they start saying foul things, disgusting things, underhanded things, insulting things, demeaning things, slurs, and comments that would be deemed bigoted or racist or gender biased or homophobic, or transphobic or biphobic or whatever. You have a right to your opinion. Lou, nobody's messing with me, bro. Nobody's messing with me. I'm just talking about the state of cosplay and how people are acting in the cosplay community and in the fandom community. And I'm just talking about the subject to try to get like an awakening for people to check themselves. I did an episode of Mace Man where I called it Ego, the most dangerous supervillain. You should check it out. Check out that video if you haven't seen it. We have to bring an awareness to this community, because this is the one community that a lot of people thought like they could retreat to, because people were already had a hard time back in the 80s about being a cosplayer and being into comic books. Oh, please don't tell anybody that you were a cosplayer back in the 80s, man. Oh God, you would get it. You would get it, bro. Seriously. I mean, I can't imagine. I can't imagine how a person would be able to cosplay back in the 80s, bro. I mean, even though I know cosplay existed back in the 80s, of course, you had your Star Trek convention, you had all these different conventions and people dressed up as comic book characters. But man, let somebody in your high school know that you were a cosplayer. That was it for you back in the 80s. I was a big fan of this laser tag franchise called Photon, and there was a Photon arena over in Kenilworth, New Jersey. And, as I would daydream, I would draw the Photon logo. And this guy would pick on me. He was like, man, you crazy about Photon. You shot out about Photon. I should kick your ass. Because, if you weren't into hip hop and you wasn't cool and you wasn't tough, and you didn't, I finally remember the day that he got beat up, and I was like, yeah, that's what you get. No, let me stop. Opinion, Dana said, opinion isn't fact. Exactly. As a Black cosplayer, I deal with a lot. Yes, I know you do. I know you do, bro. I know you do. I know you do. I know you do, man. I know you do. Yo, I know you do. I know. That's where Mace Man came from. All right. I wanted to not just put on a costume, but I wanted to send a message. The costume came from first of all, it was a mascot for a show that I did called Dark Voltage to Black Lightning After Show. He had a different name. And then I turned him into Mace Man. And then I realized, you know what? I could make this hero a superhero in the world of cosplay. In the world of cosplay. A cosplay superhero. And call him Mace Man, a Cosplay Crusader. So I said, okay, What do I call it? Okay, mask, armor, cape, EVA foam, mace. There it is. That's how I got the idea. And then, you know, I went on to do like, you know, the superhero lessons of Mace Man on Dark Voltage, the Black Lightning after show. Then I couldn't commit to doing the Black Lightning after show anymore because it was that's heavy commitment. And then I decided to just start doing videos based on, you know, for cosplay and convention etiquette and things of that nature. And when I went to Dragon Con, it was so accepted. I mean, I was getting pictures, I was getting hugs from people because the message that I was trying to convey was for everybody to try to get along and enjoy themselves and to be able to cosplay whatever they want to cosplay, no matter what their size or gender or race or age and everything. And of course, you're going to have people that's going to say how they feel, and you can't stop it really, but we can fight it. We can keep the enemies at bay. We can call attention to those people that are trolling. We can raise awareness. Now it's one thing. Now after watching the Dave Chappelle Sticks and Stones, I want to say this. It's one thing. It's one thing to joke. It's one thing to make jokes, and that's what the Dave Chappelle was doing. He was making jokes. He was going off on the people that didn't have thick skin. It's one thing to make jokes. It's a whole other thing where you know that a person is trying to take jabs at you and trying to really like say some foul stuff. All right. So I'm asking, even as Mace Man, asking for cosplayers to develop a thicker skin. Okay. All right. Especially when they make jokes, just if people make jokes, okay, fine. If the jokes, you could tell if they're intentional. Let's not have our hearts on our sleeves. Let's be logical, okay? Because people are going to say stuff no matter what. I'm quite sure people have said stuff about me. I just ain't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet. And I know that there's one cat. I know there's one guy or gal. I don't know who it is. But I had popcorn, so I know there's one person that is like, and all I can say is this, and I'm not being toxic fandom. I'm not being a toxic fan because I am looking forward to Batwoman. I want to watch Batwoman. I want to see it. But there's one person that just goes around to all my videos and just clicks dislike. One person. Now I'll say, if there were like 10, 20 dislikes or something like that, then I would feel a little bit better because at least there's more people watching. But here it is. I put up these videos and everything. I do the best work that I can, and somebody just clicks dislike just to do it. And it's just one. It's one dislike. It's basically saying, it's somebody saying, that's what they're doing. Everybody else is celebrating the video and having fun, and this is one guy that's looking at it, or girl looking at it like, It's like, thank you, everybody. I love you to life. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the X Zone Micro, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye. Me. To that one person that's disliking all my videos, that one person. Now, hold up. There was a Star Wars video that I did do. And it was a second viewing of that Darth Vader fan film called Darth Vader: Shards of the Past. It was made by Star Wars Theory. I already know that Star Wars fans are a bunch of jackasses. I know that. I already know. It's sad because I've been a Star Wars fan since I was a kid. And then because look, I was there when it came out in 1977. I was there in General Cinemas. For all you youngins out there, okay, we didn't have on-demand television where we could just watch whatever we wanted to watch as many times as we wanted to watch. You had to go to the movies, go out, come back, and pay for another ticket to see it again, and hope that they re-release it next year. Star Wars was released in the theaters, like re-released in the theaters, I think a total of maybe like 5 to 10 times, I would say. So you had to wait for that movie to be re-released until it came on cable and then came on network television. And then the prequels came out, and that divided a world. It divided a world. And people viciously attacked George Lucas and the actors. And Jake Lloyd doesn't want to be involved with Star Wars anymore. Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar Binks, probably the most disliked Star Wars character. You know, we can go all day about the controversy with Jar Jar Binks, but Ahmed Best wanted to kill himself. Ahmed Best wanted to kill himself until he realized, you know, he had a son. And let me tell you something. If someone told you that you were playing XYZ in a Star Wars film and you were getting paid this amount of money, you were going to get action figures made of you and all this, that, and the third. And you're an actor. You're just trying to get work. You know, that's all you're trying to do is you're just trying to get a job. And then all of a sudden you find the world, damn near the entire world. A lot of them don't like you simply because of a character that you played. Toxic fandom. You know, so we have hate. We have people that dislike and have something to say. People hate cosplayers. Racist, thinking that black people shouldn't be dressed up as Superman. People who get angry at racial appropriation, like, you know, taking an established character and making him African American or Latino. I'm quite sure people had a hissy fit when it was first announced that Nick Fury was going to be played by Samuel L. Jackson. Actually, I don't think anybody really said anything about Samuel L. Jackson because everybody loves Samuel L. Jackson. But let's just say, I'm quite sure there's some underground people that don't like the fact that Samuel L. Jackson is Nick Fury right now. I'm quite sure of that. I'm quite sure that a lot of race changes of different characters don't sit well with people. Yeah, so the state of cosplay today. We already, and this is what it comes down to, we already have difficulty dealing with a public that doesn't understand. We already are dealing with, I'm going to say it again, a public of people that don't understand. Trolls that have disgusting, racist things to say about cosplayers, you know, about their race, about their size and everything, how they wear stuff, and I guess what they call body shaming, or I hate to use the word slut shaming. You know, just because a cosplayer wears a costume that happens to be a little revealing. And cosplay is not consent, ladies and gentlemen. Just because a woman is wearing a certain kind of costume does not give you permission to just run up to her and like touch her inappropriately. That's grounds to get punched out and grounds to get arrested as well. Sexual harassment. They ain't playing that, and the fellas aren't playing that either, because, you know, we look out for our ladies. So cosplayers, we have already like a public out there that don't understand and they're disrespectful. Why are we doing it to each other? Why are we doing it to each other? It is not cool. Right? I wished, I mean, there were issues that I had with cosplayers that I had to, for one reason or another, had to block them, had to cut them off because of how they were acting. And I did not want that to infect my enjoyment. And I had to cut certain people off. I had to. I didn't want to because, but you know, when people start acting up, you know, you have to take a step back. Hey, Solomon, yo, Solomon, I didn't even see you there, man. What's going on? All right. Thank you for joining, man. Thank you for joining. But what I want, and I'm going to draw the line here. I'm just going to come out and say it. Excuse me. I'm trying to get some tears going so that way I can like wet my contact lenses. I'm calling for peace. All right. I'm calling for peace among the cosplay community. All right. I'm calling for peace among the cosplay community. I'm asking everybody to lay down their animosities towards each other. I'm talking about amongst cosplayers, because we already have a hard time with a public of people that don't cosplay. You know, we have to embrace one another because we're all fighting a common enemy, trolls and people that don't understand. We need to embrace one another. We need to hold each other up and lift each other up. We can't come down on people that buy costumes online and wear them to conventions and look at them as if like they're like low level. Cosplay is cosplay, y'all. Trust me, the costumes that I wore when I first started, I didn't make none of them. They were like bits and pieces of other things and patches and shirts that were already that were already made. That Luke Cage that Luke Cage costume, that was nothing but a tight lycra yellow shirt. I got a plastic chain, put it around my waist, got some shades, Ray-Ban shades, to which unfortunately I lost. I love those shades. Rest in peace, Ray-Ban shades, wherever you are. Boots, a pair of black slacks. And I made a couple of gauntlets. First, I made them out of some disposable cups, and then later on, I got fancy and gave EVA foam a try and made those cuffs out of the EVA foam. And all I did was just work out really, really hard, and that's all I did. Hey. So, hey, hello, hi, what's up?
I mentioned also about Mace Man.
You did?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Let me go over. Yes. Thank you so much. Yes. And Rouge, you want to know what, hon? I'm on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time, and I gotta like switch back and forth. That's probably the reason why I didn't see it.
Okay.
But thank you so much, honey.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, my executive producer, Rouge Rose, you know, she's like my partner, my support and everything. And without her, I wouldn't have none of this. So definitely big shout out to her. Let's see, where was I? Yeah, so a lot of the cosplays I bought. I mean, Storm Shadow, that was a ninja costume that I just ripped the sleeves off and got the Cobra symbol and ironed it on. Those swords that I had were cosplay swords of an anime character, whose name I can't think of.
And you created Mace Man.
And I already mentioned Mace Man. I already mentioned the Mace Man and the reason why I created him. I already.
What about the costume?
Yeah. I made Mace Man. Yeah, I told him that too.
Okay.
I told him that too. I told him about Mace Man and the reason why I created it.
No, I'm saying you got the costume from scratch. I mean, this is something that you made out of what is it?
EVA foam. Yeah.
I mean, you designed it, and I took part of putting you in saran wrap,
Yeah.
cutting out and molding, pieces left and right for you to create something unique.
True. What I'm talking about at the moment are like with cosplayers from the bottom up. Like when you like people, there are elitist people out there that think that if you buy a costume from online that you're not really cosplaying, and that is a lie from the devil. People want to think that just because your costume doesn't light up or you didn't make it from scratch, that you're not a cosplayer. That's nonsense. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving these folks examples of how I came up until I started really making my own stuff. And it takes time. It takes time. It takes practice. It takes a leap of faith.
It takes bravery.
It takes bravery.
Even to buy a costume. I mean, for people, they may have issues with their image. It takes a lot of bravery and self-motivation to go out there. And I'm elated to see people, whether they buy costumes or not, just to parade, just to show their fandom for it.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier about, here it is. We're out there, we're doing it. And the things that we have to endure, because it's number one, it takes a very free spirit in not really caring what people think and just wanting to go out and have fun. Lewis says, do I want a sidekick called Merc? He's almost like the Punisher. Well, Mace Man is a cosplay crusader. He's not out to hurt anybody. But you know something, listen, there's always room for new ideas and going in different directions. And, listen, I'm not going to say no someone down the line. You never know. But like I said, as cosplayers, we need to embrace one another and not go and, belittle the other because of what they are and what they do. And the jealousy thing, guys, gals, you are your own person. You don't have to be like that person. It's amazing how a person can be, especially those who are popular, those who have, still want what the other person has. Hey, Raymond Ramos. As a matter of fact, this man right here,
perfect example.
Raymond Ramos, yeah, perfect. As Rouge just said, perfect example. Raymond Ramos, Mace Man, when I created him out of EVA foam, it was like I'll never forget. I closed my eyes and I was like, you know what? I want to do what Raymond did. I'm going to do what Raymond did. And I went on ahead and I went online and I found some templates, cut them out, put them on the EVA foam, cut out the parts, bent them, cut them, added the heat gun to them to mold them, shape them and everything. Put a mold around Rouge Rose. She wrapped me up in cellophane and then wrapped me up in duct tape and made a mold out of my body. And we cut it in half. We took it. I took it and put it on the EVA foam, cut it out. And then I took that piece and I just started molding it to my body, adding heat, molding it, adding heat, molding it, adding heat, molding it. Then I took the chest parts, the pec parts, cut those out, and I just molded it and shaped it, molded it and shaped it. And the abs part, I cut that right here. And then I made the shoulder parts. I stuck everything on with Velcro, painted it. Boom, there it was. That's and Raymond, I'm gonna tell you something. You were an inspiration for me to go forward and actually try to make my own armor. So, bruh, yeah. If you get a chance, ladies and gentlemen, please go to the X Zone page. No, the X Zone channel. Okay, if you're not watching me on the X Zone channel right now, please go there and look up the Raymond Ramos interview, Cosplay Spotlight Raymond Ramos. It's a two-parter, and he'll tell you about the history and how he did his thing, you know, and where he started from. We started talking about, we started geeking out about a lot of stuff. It's probably one of my best episodes. So yes, 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 sir, yes, sir. And Lou, thank you so much for being a subscriber. Thank you so much. Kristen Saka, what's going on, man? Yeah, we're talking about the state of cosplay. Earlier today, I mean, this is a pretty long. This is gonna be pretty long, because earlier I did well on YouTube. I was talking about the Tomb Raider movie. Then I started talking about what is your favorite video game movie, and then the subject of the state of cosplay today, and that's what we're talking about right now. Hey, Raymond, the honor's all mine. Honor's all mine. And now we're talking about the state of cosplay today, and I'm talking to the cosplay community and imploring them and pleading to them to you know, if you got issues with somebody, squash it, okay? Maybe you might not be able to do it right away. Maybe you have to warm up yourself to do it. Sometimes the hardest thing is to be able to go to a person that you have odds with and try to talk things out, because your pride is kind of up here. You know what I mean? I really want for people to start squashing this nonsense. And also I want certain cosplayers to start respecting other cosplayers. Because you're popular does not give you the excuse to be disrespectful. It doesn't. It does not give you excuse to be disrespectful. Okay, because we're all trying to enjoy this thing together. Unfortunately, and I'm about to go here, because and some people are going to get real squirmy about this. But I'm going there. I felt it. I felt the taste from my very, very first cosplay when I did Nick Fury over at East Coast Comic Con many years ago. I believe it was like 2015. When you cosplay and you start getting that attention, and people start walking up to you, and people start taking pictures, and they really start talking to you and everything, they want to get to know you. It is a sense of fame. It is a sense of popularity. You start to feel like a celebrity. If that's what a celebrity feels like, I don't know what it's like to be a celebrity. So I'm not a celebrity, so I don't know. But I can imagine that it's, at least that aspect is pretty close. And then when I did Luke Cage, bruh, my world turned upside down and right back up again. Photos, compliments, back and forth. People, mass amounts of people sending me friend requests, being invited to photo shoots, being in montage videos. I remember that my first montage video, I was Red Hood. I'll never forget it. You wouldn't know it was me because I had the helmet on. As a matter of fact, hold on a second. Yep, this was the helmet. I don't know if anybody remembers, but I wore this, and I would wear my white contact lenses. I had an ATV armor with a brown leather jacket on top of it, and I made a red bat out of EVA foam, and I had the shin guards and everything. I was Red Hood. You couldn't tell me anything. And then the golden year, New York Comic Con 2016. Worked out. Had a bodybuilder regimen, and I worked out 6 days a week. Coming home from work, straight from delivering packages, heavy packages at Amazon. If you've been following my videos from years ago, you would know. Just go back a few years down my page. Went to New York Comic Con 2016, and it has to be the most victorious time ever. I did Nick Fury on Friday. I did Luke Cage on Saturday. And then I just went for it. I gave it a shot. I was Riddick on Sunday. And Riddick, I was so surprised on how people really enjoyed my Riddick. I had people taking pictures of me left and right. You feel like, oh, thank you, Christian, thank you so much. Well, hopefully I can get the body back in that form again, because I still got the shirt, I still got the chain, I still got the belt buckle, I still got them. I just got to fit them. But that's for me. But that's what I prefer to do to look right. What I feel to be right in my cosplay. Your cosplay is your cosplay, no matter what size or shape or whatever. You cosplay how you cosplay. It's just that for me, I just want to look a certain way. Just like when you create a costume, you want that costume to look a certain way. I want to bring something to the costume. So Harold B. Gibson, only Harold B. Gibson feels the necessity to work out. Okay, I'm not telling anybody else that they got to work out. You cosplay big, tall, short, and all right? Do you where you're at, okay? The point that I'm making is that I see the reason why some cosplayers lose their minds. I see the reasons why people lose their minds and they act the way they do. Because some folks, it gets to their heads to the point where they think that they are the complete authority on cosplay. There are individuals out there that have made a good name for themselves. I say a good name. What I mean, like, you know, there are cosplayers out there that have bridged a gap, between the cosplayers, all right, and the actors and the celebrities and the directors and the writers and the comic book artists, of which the cosplayer cosplays. All right. There are cosplayers out there that are doing the good job and the good work of encouraging people no matter what level they're on. And they are also bridging the gap between the fans, the cosplayers, and the fans, cosplayers, intertwined, you know, between the cosplayers and the actors and celebrities and writers and directors of those, and the comic book writers and creators of those entities and those characters of which we cosplay. The cosplay ambassadors, and you know who I'm talking about. He's doing a marvelous job. Mr. Eric the Smoke Moran. My hat is off to him each and every time. All right, each and every time. He's genuine. He's a genuine human being, and he bridges that gap between the cosplayers / fans and the actors and the creators of such characters in which we are fans and cosplay. But at the same time, there are people and they get their clicks, and they spew out venom, falsehoods, lies, and things that they want to exclude and isolate other people. And pride starts to set in. And instead of just talking about your grievances and learning to just appreciate what you already have, where you're at, and knowing who you are and what you're capable of doing, you know, you want to go and mess somebody else's life up. That's not cool. It is not cool. Okay? Because now you are becoming that thing that we're fighting so hard against. And that's toxic fandom, toxicity in the cosplay community. There's no need for that. We're trying to have fun. What's going on, Edward? How are you, man? Yes, check out Raymond Ramos's Facebook page, hashtag cosplay my way. All right, trust me, you'll definitely get some encouragement if you are looking to cosplay. But we have to treat each other better. All right, that's my plea right now. I want to unblock people. I do. I want to unblock people, and I want to build bridges again. I want for people to just say, hey, look, you know what? XYZ, that hurt, but you know what? It's too long, too crazy, and it's not right, because we could all do this. Our photo shoots could be so much bigger and brighter if everybody got along and everybody was in the picture. Maybe not everybody would be able to fit in the picture, but we could always do sections. You know, there's a lot of photographers out there. There's a lot of ideas out there. There's a lot of opportunities out there for all of us. You know, every single last one of us can be in a magazine. I was in 2 magazines. I was in 2 magazines, and I don't know how many websites. Man, if I could go and find every single video montage and every website that I was in, man, I tell you, I can breathe, and I can smile and say, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. But at the same time, there are people out there that have been in magazine after magazine after magazine after magazine, and been in this publication, that publication, this publication, that publication, but they still feel the need to belittle somebody else. Christian, all you gotta do is schedule a brother. All you got to do is schedule it, brother. I'll be more than happy to be on your podcast, sir. I'm not going to say no. Yeah, but listen, like I said, we can make the photo so much bigger and brighter, all of us being in it. You know, there are people out there that are just so talented. Look, all y'all are so talented. But you're letting old stuff stop you. You're letting things that could be just resolved. And maybe you might need some counseling. Maybe you just need to, like, you know, if you have any faith, you know, pray about it. But it's time to let the bitterness go. Please. We need to be able to get along, okay? All right? We have enough people that don't even do what we do that hate us. Why do we have to hate each other? Okay? Come on now, listen. There's room for more than one Wonder Woman. There's room for more than one Superman. There's room for it all. Okay? We just got to be able to take the time. You know, if you can't make this photo shoot with that person, then, you know, try to get with them later. But you know what? Let's not isolate each other, man. It's not that's not good. You know, let somebody be in a few photos. If they can't be in all the photos, you know, let them at least be in a few, you know, and put them in the credits. Make them feel like somebody too, you know. There's so much room for this. There's so much room to do this. I've seen a lot of you grow. I've seen a lot of you go from as we say in the church, go from glory to glory to glory. Huh. Yeah, I've seen y'all do well. I've seen all of you like grow and grow and grow and grow, and I'm really, really happy that you're growing. But some of y'all grew in a place in your body that I'm surprised you can get in the door. You know what I mean? Yeah, the clicks. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Edward is exactly right. Comic-Cons and cosplay is where we used to be able to get away from that crap. It used to be an escape. If I can take a detour for a second and talk about the Star Wars fans. I understand how fans feel about the state of Star Wars now. I know this. I know. A lot of people have been complaining about Galaxy's Edge, that it's supposed to be a Star Wars land, but it doesn't feel like Star Wars. It looks like it, you know, it kind of smells like it, you know, a little bit, but at its heart, it doesn't really have like what Star Wars fans grew up on. But what we got to understand is times have changed. Star Wars no longer is in the hands of George Lucas. It's in the hands of Disney now. And Disney is doing what it's doing with it. That's the reason why when I do Monthly Blaster, when I do that show Monthly Blaster, I know they hit me with copyright alerts and stuff like that. But, you know, as long as they're alerts and not strikes, I'm fine. I use that disco version of Star Wars because I remember when it came out by Mako. Mako, they also did the theme. They did a disco version of Jaws. They did a disco version of Superman. They did a disco version of all those blockbuster films back in the day. I use that theme because it takes me back. I want to take people back. I want to reserve the fun. And that's what we cosplayers need to do. Reserve the fun, preserve the enjoyment. You know, if you watch Monthly Blaster, hopefully you get that sense of the original Star Wars. Hopefully my show feels like a Star Wars show from the 70s into the 80s. At least I hope so. You know, at least I hope it does. Do me a favor and check out Monthly Blaster on HB Gibson's The X Zone. Watch it for yourself, and you let me know if you're getting a real Star Wars vibe from it. All right, just do me that favor. Check it out. All right, because I need to know, as a Star Wars fan, I need to know. So that's what I'm doing to try to preserve the fun. And as cosplayers, we need to learn how to preserve the fun. The older cats, like Raymond Ramos, Fred Holt, you know, Eric Moran, Mr. X, the most exciting man alive, wherever he is. We're trying And I think we need to try harder to talk to the young people and let them know that, you know, this is fun. That's what it's all about. It's supposed to be fun. You know, when you see somebody who's wearing the same costume you're wearing, give them a pound. It's almost like you're wearing the same jersey of your favorite football team. You know, y'all should be boys. You know, y'all should be, you know, girlfriend should be, you know, y'all should be like tight like that. So ladies, if you're wearing a Wonder Woman costume, you see another Wonder Woman, y'all, you know, give her a dap. You know what I mean? That's what it should be. I remember when I did Red Hood, I looked at this other cat doing Red Hood, and he was in the middle of an elaborate photo shoot with all these wonderful cosplayers. This Batman, fantastic detailed Batman costume, and Batgirl, and all, you know, Robin, and everybody in the Bat family. Everybody in the Bat family they were looking awesome. I walked past that dude, and he looked at me. He looked at me like we were a couple of girls at the prom wearing the same dress. Bruh, don't you know that I wish I was standing where you were standing doing a photo shoot like that, and you're going to go and give me the stink eye because I'm wearing a red hood and you're wearing red hood? I should have took my helmet off and was like, and I'm a brother too. See what I'm saying? What's the matter? Red Hood can't be black? But yeah, so hey man, I ain't far from no banana potato pie. You gotta put a little bit more bass in your voice. That's more natural for us. You know? No, it's yo, big shout out to the guy that cosplays not just Eddie Murphy, but Axel Foley. There is a guy that cosplays Axel Foley. He has on the Mumford shirt and the hoodie and everything. Had the sleeves all rolled up. Looks just like Axel Foley. So I'm Axel Foley, building inspector. Eddie, I'm glad Eddie's coming back. I read many different places that Eddie is going to be coming back doing comedy. But anyway, back to cosplay, and I'm going to wrap it up because I've been on for almost an hour. Let's make this community enjoyable once again. This is the reason why I created Mace Man. Mace Man was not created to be popular, you know, or, you know, I know it can be used as a vehicle of positivity because it worked when I went to Dragon Con. I did my little speech when people were asking me, well, who are you? So what's Mace Man? I said, I'm Mace Man, the cosplay crusader, fighting mask, armor, cape, EVA foam man, fighting against toxic fandom and cosplay bullying. You have a right to cosplay whatever you want to cosplay, no matter what your size, your gender, or race, or religion. You can be a fan of anything that you want to be a fan of, no matter what it is. And you have a right to enjoy whatever you're a fan of in peace. And people, they were loving it. They were digging it. And these two ladies, this one lady was like, can I hug you? And I was like, oh, thank you. And then the other girl was like, oh, can I hug you? And then the little kid came over, and you know, kids were coming over asking them for pictures. Can we take a picture with you? And the message, that's what I want to do. I want to love people. You know what I'm saying? I don't, fame with it. You can take that. You can take that. I'll take fame like tissue paper and wipe my behind with it. I don't care about it. I just want to reach out to people and have them feel good about themselves. That means the most to me. The one thing that I don't like is seeing a person by themselves and upset and lonely and feeling bad about themselves. Now, I'm not going to be able to take people's hand all the time, but I can give them a kind word and say, you know what? God made you who you are. If you believe in God, you know, if you have faith, he made you who you are. You have talent. You have the ability. If you don't know how to sew, then you buy the costume. Go ahead and buy it and rock it. They have great costumes out there that you can purchase that look really awesome, and you can rock it. You know what I mean? Oh, well, I'm too fat. Never mind all that being too fat. Go ahead with that too fat stuff, man. Put that costume on. Now, like I said, for me, I prefer not to, you know, I prefer to be certain size. But if you don't feel intimidated about putting on a costume, no matter what your size, okay? If you want to do it, you go on ahead and do it. Don't waste no time. Just do it, all right? Don't play around, okay? Yo, share this video with somebody who might be a little scared, might be a little upset, might have been felt a little bit twisted, might have been treated wrong, or maybe they might have been cosplaying for a long time and they got bitter about it because the community got a little crazy. You know what? You can start again. Start off on a good foot. Start off with a different foot. Start off with a more positive foot. Say, all right, I cosplayed, but you know what? I'm gonna do it with a different attitude this time. I'm gonna do it with a better attitude. I'm gonna do it with a more positive attitude. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Rouge said, you successfully help with your commanding voice. She told me, she says I have a commanding voice, and I thank you, dear. Thank you so much. So with that being said, I've been on this thing for like an hour. I hope that I inspired people to just go forward with whatever you want. I mean, you never know what can happen, man. I mean, I got somebody drawing Mace Man as a comic book character. There's a comic book artist named Terrence Baker for Baker Comics. He has a character. He has a comic book called Pink Hammer. He also drew the Body Jumpers comic, Body Jumpers, based on the web series that I'm in. And I have been in talks with him to work on a Mace Man comic book. And I believe I finished writing the first book. I believe I finished writing the first book. It's going to have to be a series. It's going to have to be, even if it's a limited series, because there's so much story that I want to tell. So I would say that I have Mace Man Volume 1 done. Okay. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fine tune it, submit it to Terrence Baker, and see where we go from there. All right. So with that being said, like that's just an example to let you know, you never know where you can go. You never know where you can go. You can make up your own thing. You can do your own thing. I was telling my friend David Grubbs, you know David Grubbs, you know Colin Summers Cosplay. You know, he and Dominique Wilson are a power couple, man. They are doing things. They're doing their own photos. They're doing their own photo shoots. And, you know, and that's another thing. If you can't come to terms with a certain group, if you can't get along, if you're really having a hard time and you're starting to feel ousted and feeling isolated, then you got that alternative. Do your own. Get your own thing together. David and Dominique are doing dynamite photo shoots without certain individuals. I don't want to sound like that, but if people are not going to come to terms with you, and you really truly want to come to terms with them, and they don't want to, as the good book says, if they receive you not, dust off your feet and get to stepping. But it is my hope that somewhere down the line that everyone will be able to come to terms and be able to be friends again, and to be able to respect one another. And to those of you cosplayers out there that are popular, that are just going to just say getting a big head. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, son. Seriously. And ma'am, seriously. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, because guess what? Ego comes with a price. You know, don't find yourself by yourself. All right, that's what I'm saying. You know, trust me. You know, we're not gonna get. You know, truthfully, we may not get along with everybody, but we should at least attempt to, at least try. Okay. All right. So, oh, the expansion as a certain character for a commercial. Yes. Well, I don't know if I'm not sure what you mean by that. Don't forget your expansion as a certain character for a commercial. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mentioned that. I mentioned that. Thank you, honey. I mentioned that. I did mention that earlier, that I am in a commercial. I'm going to be in a commercial. I mean, it doesn't happen every day that the company that you work for actually recruits the employees to be in a commercial about that company. So it's going to be cool. But I also have an idea for something for the company, creating a character for the company, and we'll see where that goes. We'll see where that goes. You never know. All right. But with that being said, it is an hour, 6 minutes and 55 seconds. Thank you so much for sitting through an hour of me. I hope I didn't bore you to death. I hope that I gave you some good advice. I hope I gave you some good words. I hope that I was able to encourage you. If you're feeling like alone and upset and need a positive face and a positive voice, and you know, you might be laying in bed right now with your phone like this, because you needed some positivity to help you go to sleep. I hope I was able to get you to go to sleep. As a matter of fact, if you're not asleep now and you need some positivity to get some sleep, I mean, I'm not an ASMR or anything like that, because I'm loud as hell. I would not have known about ASMR if Rouge had not introduced me to ASMR. She watches the videos, and some of them are really cool, but some of them are weird. We got there's people that take like soap foam and will put their fingers on a balloon and take the foam and put it on the balloon and I guess that sound kind of makes them help them go to sleep or something. I don't know. And then you have the ladies that they whisper, and they're like they're putting makeup on your face or something like that, or they're taking like Q-tips and okay, I'm going to put this on your eye like this, and did you fart? Okay. Excuse me. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Okay, I'm gonna. Oh my God. What did you eat today? You ate an entire bag of Funyuns. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, hold on. Here's a mint. There you go. Okay. All right. Okay, that's better. Oh. do you put on deodorant? Oh my God. We're going to have to put you in the shower. I'm not coming with you. There's soap and a washcloth and deodorant in the bathroom. Okay? Now please do me a favor before we go any further and wash your ass. Oh my God. Oh, good night, Raymond. Good night, Raymond. Okay, I have new clothes. What size are you? Perfect. I have clothes. I have clean underwear that you can wear because your clothes stink. Ew. When was the last time you bathed? Oh man.
Good night.
All right, good night, babe.
No, good night to everyone there too.
Okay, Rouge is saying good night to everyone, and I'm getting ready to
you to call it a night. Good night.
Yeah, good night. Good night.
Say love you to life. Goodbye.
No, come on. It's a little. Okay.
HB Gibson is needed in the house, so say goodbye.
Well, I'm not done with my drink. Oh man, I spilled it on myself.
Say goodbye to the viewers. Come on. Seriously, I need you.
You need me?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, that being said, okay, she says she needs me. Okay, fine. I love you out of life. All right. Have a wonderful day. If this is in the daytime, if you're watching this in the daytime, if you're at work, you can get through it. Okay, you can get through it. You might have maybe like a couple of hours left in the day. If you're working at night, joy comes in the morning. All right. If you're having breakfast, if you're having lunch, if you're having dinner, if you're at the gym, wherever you are watching this video, I love you to life. And I hope that I was able to make your day or your evening or your afternoon. All right. So until next time, I'm Robin Leach. I'm yelling. I don't know why. Peace out, y'all. Bye-bye. Okay, I just said goodbye to my people. Okay, oh, hold on. Oh my goodness. Lou, how you doing? I am just noticing that you were on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing. I truly, truly do appreciate it. Big shout out to Lou. Big shout out to Rouge Rose. Big shout out to Sean Franklin. Love y'all to life. I just said goodbye to everybody on Facebook. Now I got to say goodbye to everybody here on YouTube. This was a long one, probably my longest ever, but there was purpose in it. All right. I love y'all to life. Thank you to my YouTube family, and I will see you. Let's see. Monthly Blaster, the Star Wars show next week. Bye-bye.